Hi, this is Randy Lee with Apex Tactical Specialties. We are looking at our reset assist mechanism and the secondary benefit. The thing about the Smith & Wesson M&P series pistol is that the trigger return spring serves two purposes. The first one is obviously to return the trigger. The secondary operation is that it helps to assist in the reset of the trigger underneath the sear. When the trigger returns forwards, that's what snaps the trigger bar back into position under the sear. If your trigger return spring actually breaks, the system may or may not function. One, the trigger is obviously not going to return, but the other aspect of that is that there is very little chance that the trigger is actually going to snap back under the sear, even if you could get the trigger to advance. The secondary benefit of our reset assist mechanism, besides adding to the tactile sense of reset, is that it will allow the gun to still function as long as you can propel the trigger forwards. In this pistol, what we did was we removed the trigger return spring. So if I depress the trigger, pin it to the rear, obviously the trigger is not going to be functioning because the trigger has no way to forwards. In a law enforcement or military application, if your trigger return spring does break with the RAM system, as long as you can propel the trigger forwards, it'll reset, so you'll be able to fire it. So we're going to go off the assumption that the trigger spring is just broken. I'm actually going to fire some rounds through this. So after the spring breaks on a shot, the trigger is not going to return. If I can verify that that's the situation, still the dead trigger, I can advance the trigger manually. And still return fire. So in our mind, it's a secondary benefit, but also a fail-safe situation or fail-safe mechanism in that the gun is not completely inoperable.